Next in TV and film, we have Andor. I want to correct a mistake I made in the last episode. I said that the character Bix was having PTSD because of being sexually assaulted, but I was mistaken. Her PTSD comes from being tortured by the Empire for information in season one, which I forgot about. And she was sexually assaulted in this season in episode three, and it was uncomfortably realistic. Now she successfully defends herself and kills her attacker, but we get an entire scene of her fighting against the Imperial officer attempting to rape her, and they use that word in the show itself, which was very surprising because Star Wars will skirt around so many things, but this show does not. And
That's good.
yeah, they just don't shy away from the reality of the situations they're depicting, and that includes the real life parallels to oppressive regimes, which has always been a thing, but they kind of like put a hat on things that more clearly in this show than other Star Wars content. In the first three episodes, we see a lot of parallels to immigrant workers, with our main crew hiding out as undocumented workers on a farming planet. And I'm sure it's no coincidence that most of the actors, including Andor himself, are played by Latinx actors. Um, in the next six episodes, over the course of several years, in the time of the show itself, we see the Empire take over a planet using propaganda and forcing the citizens to rebel so that they have an excuse to use a heavier hand and actually commit genocide, all for the sake of mining a precious mineral that can be found inside the planet. And showrunner Tony Gilroy and writer on the show, of course, and his crew are not pulling any punches with this story at all.
Mm-hmm.
They're like making it very clear the parallels to real life things that have happened in the past, like the stuff happening on that planet called Gorman, is they're pulling from the French Revolution during World War II specifically for inspiration for that story, but they're also very clearly making reference to Israel and Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
And in the next six episodes, or excuse me, I already read that. In the latest episode, we see Mon Mothma, a secret rebel who's been trying to make change from within the system, finally forced to leave the Galactic Senate and then go to the rebel base on Yavin 4 after the start to the genocide of the Gorman people, as a bunch of people died in the episode before that.
Mm-hmm.
And before she leaves, she gives an incredible speech. And there was one quote that stuck out to me. She said, "The death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil." And it reminds me of the saying, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing, from Edmund Burke. And this is true for real life as well. If we sit by and do nothing, as people like Trump destroy democracy, evil will win. You can always do something about it, even if it's small, because if we all do a little bit, excuse me, if we all do a little bit, it'll just add up eventually. And we see that in this show. We're constantly seeing people commit small acts of rebellion that ends up helping characters like Andor, further their goals and destroy the Empire ultimately. And Andor, of course, is a show that is a prequel to the movie Rogue One, which Andor is in, played by the same actor. And what is his name? Diego Luna, I believe. And I don't know if you even care if I spoil Rogue One.
Oh.
but Rogue One is about the people who steal the plans to the Death Star that are sent to Princess Leia at the very beginning of the first Star Wars movie. And ultimately, all of those people die, including Andor. And this show is about his story leading up to that, and how he, he does the dirty work that rebellions need. He did a lot of killing people, sometimes people who don't deserve it, but ultimately deaths that feel necessary to just keep the rebellion safe. And it's messed up, but it's just like the real things that have to happen to make a rebellion work without the oppressive regime coming in and destroying it all. And it's really good. You should check out Andor or Rogue One. You know, Rogue One's an easier lift because it's just a movie, whereas Andor is a show. But both are really good, and I definitely suggest checking it out. And it's definitely a type of show that it's people, you know, taking, you know, real world politics, putting it into the show and making it more digestible for people. And I feel like this show might open a lot of people's eyes if their eyes weren't already open. You know, it'll, you know, make people woke in the good way versus the co-opted and bastardized ways that people try to use it nowadays. To be woke is a good thing, guys. If you don't know that.
Very good thing.